everybody. This is Ron Dittmars talking to you from the Erasmus Academy in Brooklyn, New York. And today we have as our guest speaker, Ben, who was actually in the summer German class in 2017. You want to say hello, Ben?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so this is taking up a second section in the poem Der Dichter by Hermann Hesse. And I just want, since this is Monday and the first of a series of 5 segments, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on Hermann Hesse himself. He is the most widely read author who wrote in German in the United States, born in 1877 and died in 1962. He grew up in Basel and was groomed by his missionary parents to be a theologian, but he decided to earn his living by writing. He's the author of poetry, essays, short stories. Some of his short stories are just really great. But it was for his novels that he is best known. These include Damien, Siddhartha, the Steppenwolf, and the Glaspielenspiel. And the many honors he received culminated in 1946 with the Nobel Prize for Literature. A really great, fun author to read. And what we're doing today is a little bit slightly different in this first segment. We're going to do a little bit of review of the nouns, the gender of the nouns, and also the plural formation of nouns. So we'll go over that first, and then I'll give you a little review of what happened in the earlier part of the poem, and then we'll sort of jump right in. So first of all, to notice the gender of nouns. Again, this is a review for you, maybe old hat for you already. But nouns that end in E are generally masculine, like der Anfänger, der Dichter, der Meister, right here. Let me see if I can make a sign better. Can you see this mark here, Ben, and everybody?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then you have nouns that have 2 syllables with end in E right here, like die Flöte, are typically feminine, maybe 95% or so. Let's see, there's another one down here, die Träne, the tear, and then die Seele, the soul. Nice word here. And then you have certain endings, suffixes of nouns that always make the noun feminine, like Schaft, so die Meisterschaft. Here, Keit, K-E-I-T, die Wirklichkeit, the reality. And then the second point I want to just review is how to form the plurals. So in this list, you see indication of how the plural is formed. If there's a dash or a hyphen, it means that the singular form has the same as the plural. So it's der Anfänger, the beginner, but die Anfänger are the beginners. Sort of funny. Here you just add an N to make the plural. Die Flöte, die Flöten, it would be. Here you just add an E, das Gedicht, die Gedichte, for plural, the poems. And then der Klang, here you add an umlaut and an E, der Klang, die Klänge. Let's see, here's another one with just adding an N, die Träne, the tear, die Tränen, the tears. And here the umlaut over the A actually generates an OY, like boy sound. So der Traum, from which we get dream in English, die Träume. Okay, so I'm just going to practice with Ben a little bit. I'm going to give you the singular, and then I want you to give me the plural form. And the idea is for everyone to try to imagine what the plural form is and say it in your own mind, along with Ben. Okay, der Anfänger. Ben, what would the plural be?
Die Anfänger.
Good. Die Flöte.
Die Flöten.
Yeah, good. Das Gedicht.
Die Gedichte.
Good. Der Klang.
Die Klänge.
Yeah, from klingen, it actually comes from that very onomatopoetic, the klingen. Die Seele. Actually, the die Seelen is en. Okay, let's do this one. Die Träne.
Die Tränen.
Der Traum.
Die Träume.
Exactly. Very nicely done. Okay, great. All right, let's see if I have some other examples here. Now then we're going right into the passage. Now this
what was the plural of the soul?
Die Seelen would be en.
Die Seelen. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So here, This is the beginning of the text, and in the first part of the text, just to give you some context, this story about the poet is one who grows up in a society, and he's engaged to be married, and there are a lot of festivities that are taking place, and he goes over and listens to them on the other side of a river, on the other, sort of thinking about it and reflecting about it, and he actually feels another voice calling to him to try to perfect his poetry. That's his dream, his life's dream. And so he's torn between, sort of doing whatever society would typically have one do, as opposed to this call of being a poet. And this is where it sort of starts here. Now, the way that we'll do this, which you're probably accustomed to from earlier sections, is that I'm going to read the passage out loud, and Ben will repeat after me. And as he's doing that, please repeat with him to get a sense of the sound and the pronunciation of the words. And then I'm going to ask him specific questions about the structure of the sentence, to unpack the syntax and the structure of the sentence, with the idea of everybody. You should ask in your own mind what the answers would be, and therefore step by step we break down the meaning of the sentence, and then you should be able to arrive at a meaning that will also get to at the end of this. So this is good for people at any level of German. You may learn a little bit here, and there may be certain things that you have not seen or reviewed recently. Just starting out, one thing that's very indicative in this section is that there are 3 instances of the subjunctive mood in German. And subjunctive mood expresses things that are hypothetical, supposed, conjectural, or contrary to fact. And there are 3 of them that we'll look at here as we go through these lines. So let's read the first part up to the comma here, and then when I say everybody, please repeat with Ben as he repeats the sentence. Okay, darüber würde traurig und sann dieser Sache nach. Everybody?
Darüber würde traurig und sann dieser Sache nach.
Okay, up to the comma. So where's the verb? And as we go through this, you may be familiar already with how I analyze the words and the symbols that I give for them, parts of speech. Okay, where's the verb there? The first verb, Ben?
Verb würde.
Würde. Okay, we'll put a box around this one. Okay, and then there's a second verb in the sentence.
Sann.
Good. And what about that nach at the end? What does that go with?
With the sann.
Yeah, it's a separable prefix that floats out to the end of the clause. Now this is a word, würde just means by itself means he became. Here's the subject, he became. And sann is actually a past tense for sinnen, to sense or to think. And nachsinnen, as you indicate here to the right of the column, all the words that have a little small circle next to them are in the meanings of those words are indicated to the right, sometimes showing the equivalent to a word that's more familiar to us, or sometimes the English translation. Okay, so the 3 principal parts of that are sinnen, san, gesonnen. So san nach means he reflected. Okay, and this means sad, and you've reflected about this thing. So this would be about that. He became sad and reflected on this matter. Okay, going on. Und das Ziel seiner Gedanken war dieses. Everybody?
Und das Ziel seiner Gedanken war dieses.
Where's the verb there?
The war.
Yeah, where's the subject?
Das Ziel.
Das Ziel, the goal. And then what is this? Seine Gedanken is a genitive, which we indicate with the parentheses, of his thoughts. Okay, how would you translate that?
The aim of his thoughts was this.
Okay, was this. Then they're going to elaborate what this is. That. Now here, das introduces a subordinate clause, subordinating conjunction, it's called. Where's the up to the comma here? And I'm just going to erase this first part just so it's not so cluttered. Just a second, here we go. Okay, so we're going from here. So the goal or the aim of his thoughts was this, and then going up to this point. So from in this section of the sentence, where's the verb complex?
Um, let's see. It's just the Conte,
Yeah,
the actually
zuteil
Verdun
werden könnte. This is a little bit
Verdun Conte.
complex, yeah. And here's your first example of a subjunctive with könnte, with o umlaut. That, and then it gives you here. Notice you have a little circle of zuteil werden, and it gives you this meanings here. It, to be obtained. So literally, to uh, to be, it could be obtained by him, right? Zuteil to him, and sometimes this prefix zu gives you a clue as to what case to expect. So this is the dative, which we'll indicate with a caret. Okay, let's see. So where's the subject in that sentence, Ben? That clause.
The
A true
the
fortune.
Glück
Yeah, Glück. And actually, there are two.
and the Sättigung.
Yeah, and a deep fulfillment. You see here the circle with the meaning to the right. So even though the verb is singular, I think these two are being taken collectively. That for him, literally, a true fortune and a deep fulfillment could be then obtained by him. Going back here, the dative. So this is kunte is the subjunctive, and it means could be obtained. It not factually, but it possibly could be obtained is the sense of what's being conveyed with the subjunctive there. Then going on, wenn es ihm einmal gelänge, everybody.
Wenn es ihm einmal gelänge.
It's a long sentence. Okay, gelingen is also a special verb. There's an awful lot, don't you think, Ben, packed into these few lines.
It's a busy sentence.
It is. So gelingen, gelang, gelungen is always is constructed with the dative. So it literally means it succeeds to him, or it succeeds to whoever is in the dative case. So he is successful in doing something. And since you have the subjunctive, you would say when he would be successful one day in doing something, right? This is the dative when it is one day successful to him, or when he succeeds one day in doing what? You find it actually in the complementary infinitive which follows. To mirror, let's just read this last section again. Let's go on from wenn zu spiegeln. Wenn es ihm einmal gelänge, everybody.
Wenn es ihm einmal gelänge.
Die Welt so vollkommen in Gedichten zu spiegeln.
Die Welt so vollkommen in Gedichten zu spiegeln.
Yeah, so when he would succeed one day in mirroring the world, direct object, so perfectly in poems that, with the result that he, then just read this last one, dass in diesen Spiegelbildern, everybody,
Dass in diesen Spiegelbildern
die Welt selbst geläutert und verewigt besäße.
Die Welt selbst geläutert und verewigt besessen.
Yeah, this is from besessen to possess. I always advertise Hesse as being very easy to read, but here you're getting three subjunctives in this short space of these sentences. That he would possess in these Spiegelbildern, in these mirror images, what he would possess, the world itself, purified or ennobled and immortalized. They give you here the world purified and immortalized here, indicated to the right. Okay, I think. Would you mind just going through the whole this whole section and just read very slowly so people can follow?
Sure. Darüber würde.
I mean, just in English. So starting out with regarding
Oh,
that.
okay. Just reading a translation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding that, he became sad and reflected on this matter.
Good.
The aim of his thoughts was this: that for him true luck and a deep fulfillment could only then be obtained if he should one day succeed in reflecting the world so perfectly in poems that in these mirror images he would possess the world itself, purified and immortalized.
Great. What a start of the week in section with this passage in Hesse. Great. So thanks a lot for joining us, and hope you tune in next time for the continuation of this poem. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.